Tonight, a Mid-North timber company refuses a state government rescue package involving a piece of local forest, and hopes of a good season growing amongst local farmers.
From our 7 Spencer Golf Studios, your nightly news with John Hunt begins now.
Good evening. Jamestown's Morgan Sawmill has refused a state government rescue package involving Bandelier Forest, claiming it's not sustainable. Despite 75 jobs being at risk, owners would prefer a freight package of product from Kangaroo Island.
When Luke Morgan received a call from the state government, he was hoping for a sense of relief, but instead was left bitterly disappointed.
It's not a solution at all, it's just the beginning of the end if we take that.
The offer, giving the sawmill access to the renowned Bandelier Forest. Morgan Sawmill rejecting the plan outright over sustainability concerns.
And if we go in and cut the Bandelier Forest, there'll be no forest left after 2 years, and that doesn't do the business or anyone in the area any good. We need the forest there.
This will give us an opportunity to make sure that we can evaluate the other options going forward, particularly the Kangaroo Island timber.
It follows months of turmoil for one of Jamestown's largest employers.
Really, they were just trying to help, but it's really not helping. It's just making my mill last 2 years and that's it.
The Primary Industries Minister says this offer could save 75 jobs.
It's a win-win all around, so it's a win for the Bandelier Forest themselves. They have a resource that's past its ultimate harvest date.
But also concedes it's just a temporary solution.
I think this is a very much a stopgap issue to assess how we might be able to deal with the Kangaroo Island timber that's available.
The owners have another idea, calling for bushfire-ravaged wood on Kangaroo Island to be sent instead.
I'm pretty sure that the state and federal government are both supportive of the freight package.
Mark Zeta, 7 Spencer Golf News.
There is renewed optimism amongst Eyre Peninsula farmers about this year's crops, following a break in the dry spell. Healthy rainfall has drenched most of the region over the past fortnight, with more expected early next week.
The Eyre Peninsula farming season is starting to take shape. It's looking better than originally expected after recent rain helped break one of the driest January to May periods on record.
We didn't have that confidence until about 2 weeks ago when we got the 25 mil of rain. Up until then, people were very cautious, just getting ready, getting things ready to go.
As the farming community looks to the sky for more rain, the Weather Bureau says another decent soaking is forecast for the start of next week.
At this stage for southern and western parts of Eyre Peninsula, Monday and Tuesday is looking like quite a wet period.
And while the rain has allowed many farmers to finish sowing their crops, attention now turns to healthy winter rainfall.
So over the next few months there aren't really any particularly strong climate drivers, so we can generally expect a fairly typical winter season.
Experts say dry seeding is becoming more common.
A good 50% of the farmers in Lower Eyre Peninsula District would have dry sown.
The price of canola already fetching a hefty sum.
The price of canola going forward for this coming harvest, it has reached $800, which is very healthy. That's given farmers a lot of confidence in growing their oilseed crop.
Dylan Smith, 7 Spencer Golf News.
The inlet allowing water to flow into Lake Menindee has now been closed. Water New South Wales shut the gates yesterday due to easing flows and to maintain water in Lakes Panamamaru and Wetherall. While Lake Menindee is currently at 33% capacity, a spokesperson says more water could be released into the lakes if conditions allow. It's been 7 weeks since the inlet was opened, following record rainfall in the Northern Basin. The union representing retail workers is investigating Broken Hill's McDonald's and whether employees have been missing out on paid drink breaks. The SDA alleges one worker spent 9 years at the store and was never given a single 10-minute break they were entitled to. It follows similar allegations against stores in South Australia.
We think McDonald's Australia probably knew that this was occurring and didn't do anything about enforcing proper drink and paid rest breaks.
At this stage, the SDA hasn't taken legal action. McDonald's was contacted for comment. A new role has been created in Broken Hill to act as a liaison and advocate for future mining projects. The position, partly funded by mining companies themselves, is seen as a major confidence boost for the community.
It's not often a job ad makes headlines, but this is no ordinary project officer position. Instead, it could be a major part of Broken Hill's future.
Within a decade, there may be another, 3,000 employees in town.
The new role is about making sure our city is ready for what's ahead. In what's seen as a major sign of confidence, the position is funded by Foundation Broken Hill and 3 future mining projects.
We want to see Broken Hill thriving and, they obviously have confidence in Broken Hill's future and they wanted to invest in this role.
The project officer will act as a liaison between those companies and the community and play advocate to improve our city's offerings.
If we get an influx of workers, once these projects get up and running, we need to look at housing, we need to look at childcare, we need to look at, livability aspects of the community, and that's really what this role is about.
Keeping locals in Broken Hill while hopefully seeing our population grow.
Cobalt Blue's looking at, by 2025, maybe 500 employees, which would be fantastic for the town.
Funding has only been secured for 12 months, but many of these projects will begin after that period. There's hope the role could be extended if it proves successful.
Yes, we'll look at another 12 months, maybe hopefully another 5 years.
Lachlan Itter, 7 Spencer Golf News.
Still to come tonight, local anglers urged to donate salmon frames in the name of science. And Port Pirie's TLAP program welcomes its new CEO. Welcome back. Police will be monitoring all roads connecting South Australia to Victoria over the next few weeks. Patrols will be conducting surveillance across a number of highways, including the Sturt Highway at Giamba. Residents are being reminded it is an offence to disobey emergency management directions. Travellers are being advised to be prepared to be stopped, while emergency services are on high alert due to the growing COVID outbreak. This weekend's Rangers Rally Sprint near Hawker has been cancelled after the COVID-19 outbreak in Victoria led to the closure of its border with South Australia. The event was meant to be headlined by Australian racing legends Colin Bond and Wayne Bell. Event organisers say while it was a gut-wrenching decision, it was also the safest one to make. Those who have purchased a ticket will be automatically refunded. It's hoped the event will still be able to take place when border and lockdown restrictions ease. Broken Hill City Council is now accepting public nominations to join the Animal Management Working Group. Council had voted to establish a committee in April to deal with the ongoing problem of wandering and aggressive animals within the city. Those wanting to join the group should have experience in animal management, whether that be through a dog club or rescue group. Council also hopes representatives from the RSPCA and police will be part of the committee. Applications can be made through the Council's website until the 2nd of July. South Australia's recreational boat owners are being urged to donate their filleted Australian salmon frames. It's the second year the project has been run, with scientists wanting to learn more about the fish.
Australian salmon is on the menu for a number of scientists. Our local boaties are being recruited to the cause, with all urged to donate their filleted salmon frames.
Very important that we can look at these frames to do research. It tells us a lot about what's going on with the fish. So, and to get these frames is very important. To get a cross-section right across the state is very beneficial for us.
Not enough is known about the fish, with its movements still mostly a mystery to experts.
We need to know more about the salmon itself, so there hasn't been enough science done on the salmon fishery.
All you have to do is follow these simple steps.
Keep the frames, including the gut in contents, and put that in a bag and freeze it.
Locals can drop off their salmon frames to Tucker World and Spot On Port Lincoln, who are participating in the project.
We've got a big interest in the salmon fishery. It's such an important resource here. It brings a lot of people to the region, and we've got probably one of the best salmon fisheries in the country.
Researchers hoping their work will ensure future generations can continue to catch the species.
It's all about making sure that we have a sustainable fishing sector going forward, so that we learn about these fish, so we know more about them, know what's happening with their life cycles.
Participating stores are accepting frames now until the 31st of October. Dylan Smith, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Port Pirie's lead abatement program is welcoming a new leader who has extensive history in the sector. Peter Dolan says his focus will be on communication after the group received community backlash for its lack of transparency.
The sun may not be shining today, but it's still all smiles for TLAP with the official appointment of a new executive director. Peter Dolan has moved over from the Environmental Protection Authority and will now live in Port Pirie.
I'm looking forward to working with the people of Port Pirie and the partners in the TLAP agreement to improve the rollout of TLAP and actually make sure that blood lead levels drop into the future.
Mr. Dolan's former department recently imposed tough new restrictions on the smelter. Its owner, Nearstar, jointly funds TLAP with the state government.
The issue for us is this is not a straightforward exercise. If it was straightforward, it would have been fixed many years ago.
Port Pirie's mayor has welcomed the new addition. He's hoping for an improvement in communication, having been frustrated with the group's efforts in the past.
Now's time to get it done. We're not happy with where it's been tracking. There's a lot of good work being done in the past, but there needs to be a lot of better work done into the future, and I guess that's where we're at right now.
The mayor has been given assurances the group will improve its transparency with the community.
During my early stages of communication within TLAP was the fact that we needed someone living in Port Pirie that understand the problems.
Mr. Dolan will start on the 12th of July. Mark Zeta, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Stay with us. Australia Post releases details on its latest round of grant funding. And an exhibition celebrating Broken Hill's natural wonders now on display. "100 years of Broken Hill's natural history has gone on display as a local group celebrates its centenary. The Barrier Field Naturalist Club opening its archives, recording the region's abundant plant and animal life.
From pen and paper to photography, black and white to colour, this collection is an archival journey through the history of one of Broken Hill's oldest clubs.
We've got an outline of what we've achieved in the last 100 years of the Barrier Field Naturalist Club.
The group was formed in 1920 and has played a vital role in understanding and recording the Far West's flora and fauna. For Lindy Molesworth, this exhibition is particularly special, her mother's drawings taking pride of place.
She's 95 now, she's living in Victoria, and this is her first art exhibition of these botanical works of the Broken Hill region.
Elizabeth Cochrane created these works in the 1960s as a record of local plant life. Today, they're being viewed as art.
She did a compilation of several hundred of the plants at that time.
And it's not just the technology that's changed.
Long dresses for the women and suits for the men, which didn't seem at all suitable for the climate or the nature of the activities they were carrying out.
But through all that time, the group's dedication has continued, still conducting monthly field trips. They say there's plenty left to discover.
Once you've got your eye in, and instead of thinking there's nothing there, there's everything there. Over quite small distances, it changes remarkably.
The exhibition is open at the Geo Centre until the end of August. Lachlan Eater, 7 Spencer Gulf News.
Community groups looking to make their towns and cities a better place to live can now apply for funding through a grants program run by Australia Post. Eligible groups are encouraged to apply for up to $10,000 for their local projects. The funding will support measures that connect individuals and communities, helping to improve mental health and well-being. Those who are interested are encouraged to apply. Applications close on July 4, with the successful parties to be notified in September. Port Augusta residents are being encouraged to roll up and have a bowl for charity this weekend. The Etzer Bowling and Croquet Club are hosting a fun day of social lawn bowls, helping to raise some much-needed funds for the Breakthrough Mental Health Research Foundation. There will be raffles and prizes to be won and a sausage sizzle, with all proceeds raised going to the foundation. It will be held at the club's bowling greens this Sunday. Those who are interested are being encouraged to register. Turning to sport now, and this weekend is another big round of footy across the region, ahead of the upcoming interleague clashes. With a preview of what we can expect, here's our footy experts with their tips.
Hello and welcome to Round 7 of SGL Football. This round starts with the Lions taking on South at Central Oval in Port Augusta. The Lions had a narrow loss to Sollies last week and be looking to bounce back into the winner's circle. I'm tipping the Lions. Over at Etts Oval, we've got Central taking on Port. Port had a good win last week over South and will come in this game with some much needed confidence. I'm going to tip Centrals. At Pirrie, it's the undefeated Sollies taking on West. West had a good win last week over Central and be keen to test themselves against the top side Sollies. I'm going to tip Sollies in this one.
Big round of matches coming up in Whyalla football after 3 blowouts last week. This week's round of matches should be way close. The first up, Bennett Oval Saturday, West Whyalla versus Roona Bay. Both teams likely to play finals. I think this will be a narrow win to the top team Dragons. The other game on Saturday, Memorial Oval, the two teams out of the finals, Rapina versus South Whyalla. I've got a feeling this will be the great chance for Roos to get the first win of the year. And finally on Sunday, we see Central Whyalla versus North Whyalla. This is probably the match of the round. Two teams going along very nicely, but I think it'll be the Magpies.
Welcome to Port Lincoln Footy Tips. We kick things off with match of the round, where Marble Range are hosting Waybacks at Wongaree. Waybacks lost in a close one last week and will come out firing. However, Marble Range are undefeated and they won't lose this one. I'm tipping them by 6 goals. In the next game, we've got MALLEE Park hosting Tasmans. Even though Tasmans had a good win last week, MALLEE Park are going to be too strong at home. I'm tipping MALLEE Park to win by 5 goals. In the next game, we've got Lincoln South hosting Boston's. Lincoln South are on a 3-game winning streak and they'll make it 4. They'll beat Boston's and beat Boston's by a lot.
Round 8 of Broken Hill football this week resumes after last weekend's combined game against the Far North League of South Australia. What's going to happen this weekend? Well, for the first time this year, Central travel over the hill to play South at Almer Oval. It won't make any difference. South will win and win comfortably. At Jubilee Oval, North play West. West have had the wood all year over the Bulldogs. Can North upset West? Not tomorrow, not this weekend. West to win and South at home.
Stay with us after the break. Friends of the Arid Lands Botanic Garden preparing to host their next meeting. And Alex Sykes will have the weekend weather details. Hello again. Friends of the Australian Arid Lands Botanic Gardens are welcoming all to their next meeting, which will take place this weekend. Guest speaker Julie Barry will be sharing more than 50 years of knowledge and experience in growing and running a native plant nursery. She has also authored a book about matching native plants to your own garden conditions. Members say it will be a meeting not to be missed, and bookings are essential. The meeting will be held at the Arid Lands Botanic Garden Conference Room tomorrow. We're nearly at the weekend, so it's time now to check how the weather is shaping up. With the details, it's good evening for the final time this week to Alex Sykes.
Thanks, John. And it is a good evening to you and everyone. I can tell you that the weekend is shaping up to be really quite lovely, but more detail on that later. Today it was cloudy and showers across the Gulf. From 3 p.m. today, Port Lincoln was partly cloudy and 16 degrees. Port Pirie had a shower or two and reached 18. Coffin Bay reached 17 degrees. Looking further out now, Port Augusta, Whyalla and Woodna were all partly cloudy and also 17. Broken Hill partly cloudy and reached 16. There were showers in Adelaide and Kadina, also were both 16 degrees. Clare got to 14, while Cooper Pedy was 19. Taking a look at the satellite image now, patchy low cloud along the southern and central parts of the state with onshore winds is not rain-bearing. Skies are mostly clear in the north with a dry air mass. Moving on to tomorrow's weather outlook now, and we'll start with the Gulf waters. Southwesterly to northwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, seas around 1 to 1.5 metres, and south to southwesterly swell around 1 metre, increasing to 2. A short time ago, there was a strong wind warning for the lower southeast. Looking at the weekend forecast now, partly cloudy across most centres on Saturday. Possible shower in Port Lincoln, 19 degrees. Cleve partly cloudy, also 19 degrees. Similar conditions in Woodna, 19. Whyalla and Port Augusta both 20 degrees. Kadina partly cloudy and set to reach 18 there. Port Pirie partly cloudy and also 18. Clare 15 and Broken Hill mostly sunny and 16. 16 degrees. Taking a look at Sunday now, sunny in Cooper Pedy and a max of 21 degrees. Partly cloudy across the rest of the region. Temperatures will mainly be in the mid to high 20s. Taking a look further through to next week now, showers will return for Port Pirie, Kadina, Adelaide, Port Lincoln, Whyalla and Woodner. Sunny for Broken Hill and Cooper Pedy, partly cloudy for Port Augusta. Temperatures will again be in the high teens and the low 20s. Windy in Cooper Pedy and a max of 16 degrees on Tuesday. Rain across Port Augusta, Woodner, Whyalla, Port Lincoln, Adelaide, Kadina and Port Pirie. Cloudy in Broken Hill, temperatures mainly in the low to mid-teens. So John, we'll have some reprieve from the showers on the weekend, but they'll be back next week. And that's all the weather from me for tonight. Back to you.
It's almost t-shirt and shorts weather. Thanks for that, Alex. And that's the local news for tonight and the week. Just a reminder, you can follow us on social media at Facebook, Twitter and YouTube. I'm John Hunt, thanks for your company. I'll have updates later, and Ruby Kamane will be with you on Monday at 7 p.m. Until then, have a great weekend. Good night.